Good morning, everybody. This is Lynn Switnowski from Creative Business Consulting Group. I am so glad you're here today to join us for this Pet Age Business Enhancement Webinar Series sponsored by Pet Age Magazine and Pet Store Pro. As I said, I'm Lynn Switnowski, and I am so happy to be joining you for this second session in the series, Marketing to Boomers and Millennials, Unlocking the Key to Growth for Your Pet Business. We're going to spend the next hour talking about marketing for your pet business, and just a couple reminders. You should see a tab that says questions. If you want to ask a question at any point during this session, please do so. We love to talk to people and understand where their challenges are, what they need to understand more effectively. What I've done is I've scheduled this session so I'll save time at the end to run through all your questions. And let me be clear, if you don't see or hear your question being answered, I promise you it's just that we ran out of time. We will get to all of the questions after the webinar. You'll be able to get a copy of this podcast so you can, again, hear what you just heard this morning, as well as you'll hear back from me directly to answer your question, because you'll have to put in an email address, and I will answer you personally if we don't get to your question. And so our goal is to give you as much information as possible, answer as many questions as we can, and provide as much information as we can to help you and your pet business grow. So I'm going to start. It looks like I'm having a little trouble sharing my screen. Give me a second here. Let me hit. Okay. See, this is where webinars come in. We have a little bit of a glitch here. Heather, would you mind giving me the screen again and seeing if let me just make you the presenter for a second, and then I'll go back. Okay. All right, Heather, can you make me there we go. Let me try it again. Okay. There we go. See, a little technical difficulty, but we're all good to go. Let me say this to all of you. You can get a copy of today's presentation. We want you to have as much information as you can and to learn as much as you can. That's our goal here. So there's 3 ways to do it. 1, go to Pet Age Magazine. They have a Facebook page, and you can just type in Millennials 2017, and they'll send you a copy of this presentation. Pet Store Pro also has a Facebook page. Go there and log on and type in Millennials 2017. P.S. You should follow both of those pages for your business. They are great ways to get information about the pet industry. That's just a personal plug from me. I follow both of those pages. And third, email us, lynn@cbc-group.net, and we will make sure to get you a copy of the presentation as well. All right? Some of you may know me. I do a lot of speaking in the pet business. I have been at Global Pet Expo for the last 5 or 6 years, I think now, and doing this webinar series for Pet Age and Pet Store Pro, and we'll be going to Super Zoo as well. Ironically, I'm actually speaking to you from a hotel room in Chicago, where I'm at the Animal Supply Company regional buying show here in Chicago. So do a lot of business with the pet retailers and manufacturers of the world. We help with sales and marketing. We talk a lot about social media and strategy. Obviously, why we're talking to you today, we talk about who consumers are, boomers, millennials, what gets them to shop and convert them from lookers to buyers in your store. We also do open to buy and inventory planning, as well as business transition planning. So we love the pet business, we love retail, and we're glad to be here today. With that said, let me just get right into the content today. And what I want to do is talk to you for a second about 2 key groups of people and 2 key groups of consumers who are customers for your pet business. And the reason that we're talking about baby boomers and millennials, just to give you some perspective, is they're the 2 groups with the largest buying power. And as a retailer and someone who supports retailers, clearly I want you to focus your business on where you're going to get sales. So those 2 key groups, I didn't leave out the Gen Xers, that middle generation on you know, for any other reason than they don't have as much buying power as the boomers and millennials. So that's why we're focused on those two groups. Who are the millennials? So these millennials, and I've been talking for the last 12 years to groups like yours, and what's interesting is I started out 5-10 years ago calling the millennials the crazy kids. But here's something you need to know for your pet business. Millennials were born between 1980 and 2000. That means that the oldest millennial in 2017 is 37 years old. Take that in. 37 years old, living in a house with 2.2 kids, a car in the suburbs, and guess what? Pets. They are perfect customers for your pet business. We're going to talk about specifically what kind of patterns they have, what kind of thoughts they have, but what I want to point out to you is they're not just these young whippersnappers who are 17 years old, right? You're going to the other side and saying, oh, but millennials are born in 2000, that means they're 17. No, the ones born in 1980 are 37 years old. A personal story here, I have a sister who was born in 1980, so she is the oldest. She's got 2 kids. Of course, she has a dog who she had before the kids. She spends money on the kids. She spends money on the dog, you know, lives in a house. So I find it very funny when clients tell me that these millennials are just these crazy kids. They're not. They have a lot of purchasing power, and we should be paying much more attention. The other key is that in a short time, in 13 years, millennials, you see the graphic here, are going to outnumber boomers by 22 million, which means all of these thinking, all of these patterns, all of these millennials and how they act on social media, how they want to be talked to as consumers, how they want you as a retailer to connect with them, going to be very, very critical for your pet business that you pay attention to what these millennials want. Millennials have been shaped by technology. They grew up with a cell phone in their hand. I was telling you about my sister. We used to go to my sister, those of us that are old enough, do you remember the VCR that we had to program in our house? Well, you know, they were the ones that were helping us program our VCRs, helping us program our phones, helping us understand how to use technology. They grew up with this in their hands. It's very common for them. And you, as a retailer and a manufacturer that's trying to reach this group, have to understand and harness the power of technology in order to reach this very powerful, influential group who has money to spend. I'm going to keep reminding you of that. It's not that I am not a millennial myself. I am a boomer, sadly, by 6 days, but I am a boomer. But I harness technology for my business, and you need to think about it for your business as well. You're going to find millennials, they also value community, family, and creativity. And that's something that from a marketing perspective for your pet business may be a little bit different. You're used to giving messages for your pet business and pushing out the message and being the solo driver of that message. And what we're going to talk about today, and what you probably have started to see already, is that in some way your millennial customers want to have a say and be a little bit more creative, and they want to talk to your business on Facebook, and they want to ask you questions, and they want to take pictures and share them with you. So they want to be more creative and involved in your pet business and marketing of it. So now let's go to the other side. Who are the boomers? So again, boomers between 1946 and 1964. So there you go. I was born in 1964. But again, 44% of the current adult population. The last statistic is obviously why you're focused on this group. Not only have they been core customers, probably if your pet business is more than 5 or 10 years old, they've been a very powerful source of your business for a number of years. To this point, they control a lot, 70% of the disposable income. Obviously, well worth your time to market to them. And we're going to talk about, you may already be talking to them, but maybe there are some ways that you can even enhance your conversation with this very powerful group. But again, keep in mind, I want to make sure that we focus on understanding They currently have 70%. But remind yourself as we go through that the millennials on the extreme, on the other side of it, are going to be the group with the largest disposable income by 2030. So maximize the group of boomers. We're going to talk about lots of ways to do that, but make sure to start putting programs in place to reach those millennials today. So I put this up there because I'm trying to make you all, and you probably see these customers coming in your store. The millennials are self-involved. Some of you might say, you know, they are selfish, which may be fair. They're constantly looking at themselves. They are selfie-driven, right? It's all about me. What do I look like? Let me take a great picture of myself. Let me Snapchat it. Let me, you know, talk to you live. Let me, in some ways, may say the phone is more important than a personal interaction. And I want to be very clear. Personally, that can make you sad. That can disappoint you. You and I can talk on the phone about that. When I meet you at a trade show, we can talk about that for sure in person. It is okay to feel that you would like to be respected by this group of people, but please don't take it personally when it comes to your business. Please understand there are ways to harness this self-involved, opinionated, impatient, elusive group and turn them into loyal customers for your business. Because as the next bullet says, they are a participation economy. Yes, they want to take pictures of themselves. Yes, they want to attend their kids' moving up ceremonies from kindergarten, first grade, fifth grade. Yes, they want to take pictures of an event instead of take pictures of a sunset instead of looking at the sunset. But that also means they want to go into your pet store or use your pet products if there are manufacturers on that, and they want to take pictures of their pets enjoying your store or enjoying the products that you're selling them. So the goal is to not be sad and frustrated at this group of people. The goal for you all today is to understand that, yeah, they're self-involved, maybe they're opinionated, but how can you turn that around and harness that participation for your pet business? And ask yourself today, how do I let my customers, my potential customers, participate in my business? Are you still, picture the image, are you still using a bullhorn shouting from a ladder about your marketing messages, a one-way, sort of dialogue, or are you letting millennials talk? Are you letting them participate, make comments, like posts, share, send pictures, send videos, participate in forums? So think about it. This picture here is absolutely, I think, a snapshot of what the millennial is like. It might be sort of cliche-ish, but if you can take this picture and say, okay, they're self-involved, how do I turn them around and make them talk about my pet business? Okay? So they want to be involved. Let's let them, you create programs that help them talk about your pet business to their friends. Boomers on the other side, and I didn't mean to be doom and gloom with this picture here, but what I want to make sure you understand is that it is all about, with boomers, a shared sense of commitment, camaraderie. Yes, they may be post-war era, but really the sense of commitment, loyalty, respect, and while they have money to spend, it doesn't mean that they spend frivolously. They want to save. They have saved money. They have had a good career. Now they're looking to spend the money that they have, but they want to be told that they're getting value for their spending. So we'll talk about how you can do that with your marketing programs. Integrity and honesty are critically important to this group. And we're going to talk about how to harness that integrity of your business, the honesty. You're all very honest, forthright business owners. For that, I'm sure. So the question is, how do we, instead of just assuming that everybody knows that, how do we make sure to tell in our marketing messages, these boomers who really want to hear this from you, how do we help them via your marketing messages remind these boomers that that is who you are? We'll talk about that. So now that we understand who these groups are, where they're loyal, what I want to spend the rest of the session talking to you about is how to create marketing activities based on what I'm calling the demographics and the psychographic, which is the mindset of those two customer groups. How to create marketing activity for your pet business that will draw those customers to your store, that will draw those customers to buy your products. And when I'm going to point out some of these things, some of them are just facts, but then I want you to also think about what currently are you doing for your business. So to give you a sense, 84% of smartphone shoppers use their devices to help shop while they're in a store. What does that mean for you? Okay. How does your pet store help them shop? Is your store wired? Can pet store or can customers or potential customers at your store go online, and instead of you being nervous that they're shopping for other products, tell them that you have Wi-Fi. Absolutely encourage them to shop, look at your website, get information about the products you sell, show them videos while they're in your store. Okay? Instead of bemoaning, and if some of you have seen me in person, I take my cell phone at a seminar and I walk down the middle aisle and I say, how many of you see this customer? And all I do is put my head down and I stare at my cell phone and I ignore the rest of you. Again, personally, you may find that disrespectful. Agree with you, you and I are on the same page. But as a business owner, instead of, the expression I use is if you can't beat them, join them. How can you turn this obsession that the millennial customer has with their cell phone, with being connected, how can you turn that into a positive for your pet business? How do you then say to them, of course, we're happy that you have your cell phone here. We see that you're looking on these other sites for information about prices. Can I talk to you about that? We understand that's a different product. When you join people in the forum and in the place that they are, instead of shaking your head and walking away and saying, oh, I lost this customer, you now become much more relevant. Even more relevant if your sales staff or if you walk up to a connected, as I call them, millennial shopper who's attached to their phone, and you have a phone or a tablet in your hand and they're standing in front of a product that they're looking for information on, and you say, do you have a minute? I can show you this video of how this works. Or on our website or on our Facebook page, we have reviews about how this product works, or we have information on how to put it together. You've now just become relevant because you speak, and I'm using that speak in quotes, in the same tongue as your customer. You understand that they use the phone to connect as a very critical tool for information, for life, for everything. And you, as a pet retailer, are now speaking in the same language that they are. 43% of millennials say that access to the internet through their phone is more important than on a computer. This, what you and I might, as boomers, call a phone, is actually a mini computer which connects them to the world and information 24/7, 365. I would also argue that millennials don't actually talk on the phone as much as boomers do. So while I use the word phone, it's really a digital access device. And how are you, as a pet business and pet store owner, using this tool to give these millennial customers information about the products and the services that you sell in your store? Millennials research online. They read reviews, they compare prices, they search for coupons, they find locations. So within that context right there, do you do reviews? Do you ask customers to write reviews for you on your Facebook page, on a Yelp page, on your website? When you get reviews, maybe it's an email from a great customer, a really loyal customer. Do you ask them if they would mind if you post that review online? Because again, millennials are using and researching online to get information. I want to be very clear about this. In our day, if you're a boomer like me, or you're a Gen Xer and you're in your mid-40s and up, you may have gotten information about products or stores from referrals. Those would be friends, people that had pets, who had great service, who wanted information, and you gave it to them or they gave it to you. That's how we got connected. We saw the whites of somebody's eyes. They told us about it. It was important that we got information from someone we knew. I think all of you can relate to that. That is the word of mouth referral. That's really important still for boomers and Gen Xers. But for millennials, please understand that a review, information about a product or a store, can come from a total stranger. But if it's posted online, that's just as good for them. You and I might not agree, but millennials are reading reviews and they are making purchase decisions based on people that they've never met before. Let me spend 1 minute telling you why that's the case. When millennials and others read reviews about products or services or places, they self-select based on what the person writes and said, yes, this person is just like me. Therefore, I trust their opinion about this pet store, about this product. The words that people use align them into camps. I'll give you an example of how I use this. I travel a ton, so when I read reviews about hotel rooms, if somebody starts out by saying this hotel is ridiculously small, I immediately disregard that review because I lived in New York City in a 500 square foot apartment for 15 years, so small does not matter to me. Conversely, what matters to me is someone starts out by saying this hotel is so conveniently located, they have a great free breakfast, it's right near the subway station, or it's right near, you know, public transportation, and the Wi-Fi is free and it's fantastic. That person I completely relate to because that's who I am, and therefore I trust their review. So I'm telling you that story. Now think about your pet business. If a millennial sees somebody writes a review about somebody that has a pug that was sick, that used this product, and I am a millennial and I have a pug who is sick, I know that you're the same person because good people have pugs, therefore we're the same person. So I'm giving you that because you need to drive people to write reviews, as many as you can, in as many places as you can, because millennial shoppers are reading reviews, comparing prices. This is a little bit of your staff training here. You have to teach your staff to go to competitor sites, understand what your customers, millennial customers, might be looking at in the store about prices, and understand what those sites look like, and be able to talk to why your prices may be different or why the products that you sell are different than those. You cannot shy away from price comparison shopping and get upset and say, I've lost that customer. You have to teach your staff to come up with a way to explain your prices and why that is. Millennials are also searching for coupons. Do you have online coupons? And do you offer them on a regular basis for a variety of products? And for those of you who are manufacturers, you know, on this call, do you offer coupons that your retail partners can put on their Facebook pages, on their Instagram, on their websites, which help you build loyalty to those customers as well? So how do you connect more effectively? We talked about a few ideas, but again, authenticity is really important to millennials in communication and corporate behavior. And by that I mean, if you care about pet charities or other local charities in your town, or you sponsor, local teams, or you make donations, or you volunteer, I want you to understand, I'm not telling you to brag, but you're part of a local community. You care about things, and millennials care about that activity. So feel free to share that activity via your social media sites. Deliver value. And if you don't know what value is to your customers, ask. Millennials love to answer questions. They ask them and they will tell you what is on their minds and what they feel about your business. And that will give you insights as to what you need to upgrade, what you need to do more of that's working really well, and some things that you do that may not have any value to them, and therefore you could get rid of them in order to do something else. The other thing is, I know you all shop, you all use great, you go to shows, you work with distributors, you offer great products, but how often do you continue to push yourself to look for newest and greatest and top quality products, and what services do you offer? Are you constantly looking to be an innovator and offer new products, or do you just stay with the same products? Millennials like gadgets, and the spending on pets, as we all know, continues to go up. So can you push your customers a little bit and offer them unique, interesting things, maybe related to technology, maybe related to video enhancement or GPS for pets, to get the technology piece engaged with your customers and their pets as well. Here I'm just trying to remind you, don't follow the same formula again and again. Millennials will get tired of that. So deliver value consistently. And by value, I am not talking about only price. What I'm talking about, what's valuable to a millennial, is interacting with peers on social media. Therefore, do you post, and I'm going to bring this up again and again, how often are you on social media? Are you there 2 or 3 times a day on Facebook, once a day on Instagram, or are you there once every week or once every 3 days? Ask your millennial customers to talk about their pets, to talk about their pets' problems, to share pictures, to share videos. Some of you I know probably do this really well already, that you have contests. Send us your cute Halloween photo contest. Send us your, tie it to a movie that's coming up, Wonder Woman. If you dressed your pet up like a Wonder Woman, send us those pictures. Or dress up the, your staff pets and have fun with that. But millennials are very comfortable interacting on social media. Have you maybe make one of your customers, the social media person, a guest poster for a week. Let the eyes of your customer, let the voice of your customer lead your social media for a week, and see what they do and how they interact. Obviously, you may have to, look over them, but it would be kind of fun to say, let's have a contest. Who wants to talk about their pet for a week? Who wants to run our social media? And you could run a contest. They are also willing to share millennials want to share personal information with your pet business, with your pet store, if you're a manufacturer here, to your company, in exchange for something of value. So before, when I was saying ask your customers what they value, ask them to take a small survey, 2 or 3 questions, online, Facebook, email, however you want to do it. But I would say to you, ask them and then give them something for doing it. You will get great information about what they want from you, what they expect from you, what they see as value from you. A perfect example of this, next time you're at a trade show, take a picture or a video of a new product, and if you have an active social media, Facebook, Instagram presence, you'll get immediate answers. We love it. We think it's great. What other colors does it come in? How much is it? When is it coming in? That's the kind of information. It will help you make good, smart buying decisions as well. Create programs, and those could be contests, or again, share posts, share videos, but require likes. So like this post, share this post, comment on this post, and you'll be entered to win. The goal with this is that you get your customers engaged. Like equals engagement, and engagement is they've done something. You've inspired somebody by what you've asked them to do to respond to you. Okay? So create a great contest idea would be to give away something. Could be a gift certificate, it could be a meaningful something, and by that I mean $100, gift card, or some product that you get from one of your vendors that's worth $100, or a product that's really important, and say like and share this post, and you'll be entered to win. It spreads the word, it gets engagement, and it gets you talking. And as I said before, appreciate the time that your customer took, and that could be just saying thank you. Try this today when you hang up from this call. Go on to your Facebook pages, and if you have a picture of your staff, you as the owner of your business, and if you're a manufacturer, same thing, write a Facebook post with a picture of the people that work for you, for your stores, and you as the owner or manager say, I just want to let you all know we couldn't do it with our amazing staff. I wanted to say thank you to our amazing staff. You will be blown away by how your customers respond to that post. A, it makes you human. It says, I can't do this alone. I have other people that work with and for me that help me, make this pet store a really good place. But it also humanizes you in front of your customers. Every time I suggest that post, it doesn't matter what industry, people write me back and tell me it's one of their most well-liked posts in a very long time. You'll be amazed at how much you valuing your staff looks in the eyes of the customers. That being said, it's important for you to do the same thing every so often and thank your customers for being there and for coming in and talking to you and being loyal and buying your products. Please, 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 don't forget that. Millennials like to be thanked. So add that to your social media schedule at least once every 2 to 3 weeks. Keep in mind, you can't say it too much because there's always new people who are coming to you and looking at your page. And there's nothing better for you and your business than a new customer who's looking for a new pet store to shop in, and the first 3 posts they see aren't selling. It's you as the owner and as the voice of that business saying, hey, we just want you to know we have the best staff and I couldn't do it without them, and hey, we love our customers, all of our human customers and all of our 4-legged, dog, cat, fish customers. We love everybody. There's a lot of power in that for a potential new customer. When they see that, they're like, this is a place I want to shop for my pet as well. So what else can you do? Again, we talked about social media. I would beat that dead horse and beg you all, if I could reach through the phone and grab all of you and make sure that you have a robust social media marketing program, because millennials talk an average, I shouldn't say talk, they view Facebook. I know hopefully most of you are not driving and in the car because I don't want to send you off the side of the road here. They view their Facebook pages 27 times a day. Yes, let me repeat. An average of 27 times a day. Some of those check-ins are on their phone. Most of them are on their phone. It might be a minute because I'm in between, I'm stopped at a traffic light, I'm at lunch, I'm doing something. Some of them might be 5 minutes, some of them might be 10 minutes responding to people. 27 times a day. If you and your pet business are not there every single day with interesting posts that are liked and shared and comment on, you are irrelevant to that group of customers. It's as plain and simple as that. If I'm somewhere 27 times a day and your pet business doesn't come up, you don't exist to me. So make sure that you're there. And while you're there, give them lots of experiences that they can talk about and share. Encourage your customers to take pictures in your store and post them online. Enter them into a contest. Every time you create a hashtag contest, and every time a customer takes a picture and uses the hashtag, and I'm going to make it up, hashtag Lynn's Pet Store, and gets shared with your page, they're entered to win. Get in the habit of exciting your customers to want to share information. Millennials are doing it. They're engaging with other brands. I want them to engage with your pet business. That's really my key here. Great customer service, right? We want to talk about that. If you had somebody that loved what they did and they sent you a post or they put a review on your Facebook page, some people's settings are such that Facebook reviews cannot be seen by everybody. Take one of your recent reviews and cut and paste it from your review section into an actual post. And under the guise, be humble. The way I suggest is be humble about, aw shucks, or thanks for saying such nice things, or we love what we do, or we love your pet name here as well. Thanks for your kind words. Put quotes so people know that it's a quote, and then put the first name and last initial of the person. Because again, even though it's in the review section of your page, some people's settings don't allow them to see that, or they don't just go to that review section. So bring it from the review section to the actual news feed section of your post, and you'll get more play out of it. Mobile. As we talked about, so far these millennials use this mobile device. I'm not calling it a phone per se, but it's their mobile connection to life. So how can your pet business create programs that are digitally based? Do you have a loyalty card program? Do you have a referral program? And do you have those set up online so that they can just come in, or you can update it via an app or via the app that's provided by your loyalty card program so that it's in their phone? Do you use mobile marketing? Some of you, I know when I talk to you at shows, have great text messaging and mobile marketing programs. If you don't, that may be something as you grow this millennial customer base to think about. How do I engage them more? Let me start pushing out mobile. And I know that some distributors have mobile marketing programs, some that you can sign up for and push out these, as well as some other manufacturers will help you push out coupons via mobile. So maybe you should start sprinkling in some of that as well. And as we talked about before, online reviews should be part of your mobile campaigns on a regular basis. Also, for those of you that have an email on a regular basis, many email providers now have a place where you can create a digital link of your email so that you can start to push out your emails. Even though it's a traditional vehicle, you can push it out via a link in a text. And this leads me to one of my newest marketing suggestions for all of you pet retailers, which is when you're trying to touch base with your customers. Many of you have set up training your staff to ask at the cash register, would you like to join our email program? Because that's what you're most comfortable with, or that's what you've done. Can I ask you all to change those words to, how would you like to connect with us? We have an email program where we will send you ... We are on Facebook. You can do that. Join us there. We are on Instagram. We have a mobile marketing where we will push out coupons to you on a regular basis. Instead of you just saying, would you like to join our email program, and you'll get all these things where people say, no, I don't use emails. Tell them all the places that they can find you, and you will, and I think you'll have much better luck. So I'm going to spend the rest of the time now talking about boomers and how do we connect with boomers. Here's the key. Many of you say, my boomers do not go online. False, not true. They're online almost every day. They're the second heaviest users of the web. How many of you on this call say, okay, I check out with my kids, my grandkids, I get information about them, they live out of town, I see all this great stuff going on in their lives, I feel like I'm connected, I FaceTime with them on a regular basis, and all of those are online tools. Give your customers the same credit. They are online, they are mobile, they have cell phones, many of them are trying to save expenses, they've ditched their landline, and most of them are on social media. It's a large, growing population on social media, mostly because everybody younger than that is already there, but please do not underestimate how active online your boomer customers are. Again, born between 1946 and 1964, and yes, they didn't grow up with a cell phone in their hands, but many of them work and have been using, obviously using computers and programs for a very long time and are very savvy and are very comfortable. And retailers, pet retailers, who do not give boomers credit for being online are missing a big, big opportunity. Okay? So, like the millennials we talked about, there are characteristics of boomers that, and if some of you relate your current marketing activity and you say, I do this, that's great. Some of you may say, hey, there's ways to enhance, my connection. In the minds of boomers, they're a very loyal group, right? We talked about that earlier. They're authentic, they're loyal. So it is important that trust and promises are kept and are maintained. So what does that mean for your brand, right? If you have a guarantee about your store, that your products are always guaranteed, bring it back anytime, we will price match, instead of just having those be policies, what I would suggest to you is brag about that. How are you different than the store down the street? We fully guarantee our products anytime. We want you to be over the moon, giddy, happy about every interaction that you have here. If we have not exceeded your expectations every time you come in the store, we want to know about it. Boomers want to hear that. They want to know that you are striving to be great every single time. Not sometimes, not most of the time, but every time. I'll give you an example. When I met my husband years ago, he had a BMW. And, of course, my mom worked for GM growing up, so I never, ever thought I would sit in one of those cars. But I told him I would help him take it in for service. And the guy, when I brought it into the service desk, before I even was there for 2 minutes, he said, okay, it'll be ready here. Do you need a ride somewhere? All those, nice service things. He said, I also want you to know that probably within 2 hours of when you leave here, your husband or boyfriend at the time is going to get an email asking us how we did today. If you cannot give us 5 stars, please give us a chance to fix it before you answer the survey. Now, some of you are saying, being skeptical, well, there's kind of, lining their pockets. It's true, but subconsciously, what that says, and what I'm trying to get you all to think about is, it matters. It mattered at the time to BMW, and it matters to you. Therefore, it's important your customers know that you want every transaction, every interaction, every minute people spend in your store to be a joy. And that is your absolute goal. So you should tell them that. Having fun in your store, right? Pictures and videos, and what did you think about it today? And did we meet, did we exceed your expectations? Is there anything we could have done differently? It sets a real tone for your customers to understand that you're not just participating, you're actually thriving and striving to be better every single day. The next thing that I would urge you to think about is boomers think it's all about me, right? I earned the respect that you should be giving me. I earned this place in my life because I worked very hard, I raised my family, and now it's time for me to enjoy the finer things in life. So can you create marketing messages that showcase it's all about me? And this would be in some ways showcasing how products or services that you provide make it easier, that boomers have more time to play golf. More golf, less if you happen to provide daycare services, or if you happen to provide, bath services or walking services. More golf for you, more fun for your dog. In other words, what's in it for the boomer customer, in essence, at the same time as what's in it for the dog or the pet that you're servicing. And then use keywords, as I like to say, that boomers can relate to. They do not like to be told that they're old. I'll share that with you in a minute. But they're dedicated, they're loyal, they're passionate, they're hardworking. Celebrate their successes. Celebrate those retirements. Congratulations on, to one of our loyal customers, Dave, who's retiring, and then make a mention about his cat and dog or fish that's going to get a lot more time because now Dave's going to be home with them. Again, use the internet as a tool. Do not just use email and and coupons that are mailed and maybe an ad once every so often in the newspaper. Use social media, use the internet. Opt for what I call courteous and straightforward. So dedication, sacrifice are words that this boomer customer absolutely relates to. And as I mentioned before, warranties. What do you guarantee about products that you sell, about the services? Shout that from the rooftop to the boomers. I mean, it probably plays well with your millennials as well, but it really resonates with your boomer customers. Market with a personalized touch. This is a little bit different than millennials who don't ever go to their mailbox. In most cases, they do everything online, but pay their bills online, and all that comes in the mail is junk mail. So I don't need to go to mailbox. Boomers feel very differently. Personalized touch. It could be a holiday greeting card. It could be a thank you note. It could be a sympathy note if a pet has died. It could be a personal note from a salesperson that just said, "I love seeing your face in the store." If you will, just a because moment, a polite way of saying, "It was great to see you. We never want you to, we don't want to take you for granted. We want to say thank you to you." I recommend to my clients sending a Thanksgiving card. No business, no selling, just Thanksgiving. It's a time to say, enjoy the time with your family, and our business feels like we're glad you're part of our family. It's also the first, if you will, greeting card that is in the mail for the season, so therefore it gets looked at because the box isn't crowded with 15 Christmas cards. So again, thank you, personalized touch really matters. Don't call them old, right? 60 is the new 40, 70 is the new 50. So don't call your boomers old. They hate to be senior, elderly, or aged. They don't want to know that they're over the hill. They just want to know that they're vibrant and that they're active. And the way you can get around that is by showcasing products and services that give them time to do other things. You want to go out to lunch today? Leave the dog or the cat with us. You want to spend more quality time with your pet, going on walks. Give them this medicine, which will help their bones and joints. So remind them that their life is carefree and they're not old. They have more time to do all the things they want. That being said, boomers are very they're traditionalists. They like, in some ways, to be reminded when things were, when things were good, if you will, the good old days. So this celebration of 50 years in business. If you have been so fortunate to be in business for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, or 50 years, celebrate that. Boomers love tradition. How long has the company been around? For those of you that are pet manufacturers here, how long have you been providing services? How long? That should be part of your message. And for those of you who are retailers who sell those products, be proud of the fact, this manufacturer has been selling products or, in the pet business for more than 50 years. They know pets, if you will. Create marketing messages that showcase long-term stability. There is a lot to be said for businesses that have been around a very long time and that are still relevant and that still matter and are not, if you will, just limping along before they go out of business. So I'm saying to you, celebrate their traditions, celebrate your successes, and share that with your boomer customers. Make it easy for your boomer customers to shop, and that is And many of you I know have seen this in your probably personal lives, but how do you do this in your pet business? Order online, pick it up in store. Ask your customer what's most convenient for them. Do they need delivery? Great. Pick a couple of days that you can do delivery for them. Do they need to carry it out to their car? Or do they want to order online, or do they want to text you their order, or do you want to have a reorder club so that automatically it gets sent to them, you know, at a certain time each month so they don't have to think about it? Again, what is most convenient? You see the all caps there, for them, as in for your customers. You as a retailer need to provide that flexibility so that your customers can save time and maybe money as well. If I could urge you all to constantly ask that one question, what is easiest for you, my customer? Right? We as retailers, you set up your store the way that you want it. What's easiest for you? Let me put the heavy food in the back because that's the place I can store it, because when I unload it from the back, I don't have to carry it that far. Can't tell you how many pet stores I go into where the big heavy bags are in the back. Well, what's most convenient for customers? Now I got to lug it from the back to the front, and I don't have anybody to help me, and I'm an older lady, and I can't carry it, so I buy a smaller bag, or I get frustrated. Again, just ask yourself, what is most convenient for my customers? Not what's most convenient for me, what is most convenient for my customers? What do they want from me? And I leave you with this. As you know, this webinar is sponsored by Pet Age Magazine, who is helping pet retailers, and Pet Store Pro, who is the online training program. But for me, to all of you, just like you're sitting here spending time today listening to how to talk to, you know, these new millennial and boomer customers, you have to share this information with your staff. Get a copy of this presentation and share it with them so that they understand that you're creating marketing messages that are delivered to both groups of people, and that here's why you're doing things. Here's why I'm creating these marketing programs, so that they're engaged with boomers. This one's going to talk to boomers because we're going to send thank you cards because that's what boomers like to do. We're going to do text messaging because millennials really relate to that. And again, create tactics that help engage customers on the selling floor. And, you know, that could be, how do you use technology on the selling floor? Do you have tablets? Do you have Wi-Fi? Do you have phones that your staffs can share links to articles, or that you could text? One of my favorite things, do you have information about products that you sell that you could send a link to someone? Oh, great. Hey, I'll send you a link. I know you're looking at this product right here. I've got information on how that works. I can just text it to you. If you see someone that is on their phone and you say to them, let me text it to you, their answer will be okay. You as a marketer for your business, what you're going to see is that you matter to them, and that now you have access to their text and their phone number, and you can talk to them again, which is really a great marketing tool. All right, I'm gonna stop right now. I mean, obviously, this is what we do for a living. If we can help you, or you have further questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. We've given you a small code for being with us today. I've saved 6 minutes for questions, and maybe we can go a few minutes over. Heather, I'm going to ask you if we got questions along the way, and if so, I'll answer as many as I can before we run out of time. Does that sound good?
Yep, that sounds great. We do have a question here. Just you're talking about boomers and millennials. Do you have ideas on how to talk with the Gen Xers?
So yeah, that's a great question. I didn't leave them out specifically, but again, in some ways, those poor Gen Xers are the lost generation. But they really form two groups. In some cases, the Gen Xers veer toward younger, and they're obviously the mobile-minded. They don't have their own distinct personality, except they're even more frugal than the boomers, in that they grew up in a recessionary time. They grew up in the gas rationing, and they've been out of work, and in essence, they haven't necessarily done better than their parents. They're the first generation to not kind of do better than their parents. So they're definitely more value-based, very conscious of money, have been burned by groups. So when you talk about value, it doesn't necessarily always have to be about price, but some reaching Gen Xers could be about price. And it may be that you have a price guarantee or that you have a price matching program so that you don't actually have to say, hey, we have the lowest prices on anything here. I'm not asking you all to do that, but what I'm saying is in some way you let them know that you understand they're conscious of money. And that could be a food program, right? Buy 12 bags, get the 13th bag, free. That could be like saving, 8% or 9%, on each bag of food. So there's ways that you can deliver the marketing messages that show value or showcase the programs that you offer that you're conscious of that. Also, they're a bit dour. They're not quite as, and again, in some cases because they've been burned and life hasn't been quite as rosy for them. So generally upbeat cartoons, humor work really well for Gen Xers.
All right, you've got a lot of great tips. Which one should be implemented first?
Oh, wow. Now you're putting me on the spot there. I'm going to say this to you. Depending on how far behind, let me just say this. If you have a lot of boomer customers and you're not sending personal notes and then run your customer list, if you have a database, take your top 50 customers and send them a thank you note with a $25 gift card that just says, we really appreciate your loyalty and we just want to say thank you. Nothing asked, can be used on anything, no parameters. Here's $25 on a $50 purchase. No, just send them. That's something really quick and really easy that will be very effective for your boomers. They will love it. If you are really behind on talking to millennials, then I would tell you to take one of those programs and get at it right away. And that could be as simple as being on Facebook 2 to 3 times a day, coming up with content that motivates them, running, a contest about pictures or videos. You've got summer coming up. Run a contest or tell customers to send in pictures or videos of dogs playing in water fountains or in water or jumping into pools or something that's active and fun that really gets people motivated, and give away a big prize, i.e. a $50 gift card, a $100 gift card, a free bag of food for a year, something that really gets people's attention, that has a lot of value, that will get eyes on your business very quickly. I think that if you're behind in talking to millennials, then start out with a bang and don't make it like, here's $5, really, really something big.
We have another one that just came in. Just wondering if a mailed catalog would be valuable to boomers.
So catalogs are very, very expensive to do, and they are beautiful. What I'm going to tell you is it may be effective for your business, so I'm not going to tell you if you've done a catalog for 25 years to stop doing it overnight. However, I would urge you to look at the return on investment. So if you put a catalog together, that has 60 products in it, how much total sales, if you will, lift did you get from doing that? So if I sell one of this product usually a month, and because it's in the catalog I sold 40, that's a good lift. If you, through this catalog, spent all this money mailing it, and you sold 2, of that product, and that's not a good lift. So review the products in the catalog, what kind of sales lift you got from it. And another thing you could do, maybe you could make the catalog a little bit smaller. Maybe you could do a digital catalog and print less of them. Maybe you could do an editorial catalog, which has some articles and information about taking care of pets, and again, subtly gearing it toward the boomers. So that would be pictures of older people with their pets, articles on pet safety, or if you will, subtle clues about, be careful lifting your pets, or, safety with your pets. Not calling the boomers old, but being helpful in ways. So sort of an editorial with some coupons. A calendar is a great tool. A monthly calendar with great pictures with coupons at the bottom that could be used every single month. It's a little bit cheaper to do and still is a great way to get lots of products out there. So that may be something that could be helpful to a boomer.
Okay, just one more, if you can just kind of reiterate where everyone can get a copy of the presentation.
Oh, absolutely. So you can go to the Pet Store Pro Facebook page. You can go to the Pet Age Magazine Facebook page, and you can just type in the word Millennials 2017, and the administrators of those pages will send you a link to the presentation. They have a PDF copy, and at the bottom of this page you see here, that's me, Lynn, at cbc-group.net. You can email me directly, and I will make sure that you get a copy of the presentation. And again, it doesn't stop today. I think we're going to end up doing, I know Alan couldn't join us from Pet Age Magazine, but we'll hopefully continue with this great series and get you all more information as the year continues. So just keep, checking back. But if we can answer any other questions that you didn't send in today, please don't hesitate, because our goal is to make sure that your business is as profitable as it can be. And I think that's, I just looked at the time, it says 11:02 here. So I'm going to end this, and I'm going to say thank you all for joining us. And again, if you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to contact us, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thanks for your time today, everybody. Have a great day.